Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chantal Adams, the student counselor at the Western Cape campus. I'll be your chair for this event today. Today we have one of our student mentors, Sizinikiwe, presenting to us today on exam preparation. You will find a number of items in the chat function. I've included the contact details for the Cape Town counsellor, which is myself, and then also just ensure that you sign the attendance register so that you receive the recording of today. And also I've included an evaluation form so that you can give us some feedback on your experience of today's session and also give us feedback on what types of support that you need in future and what other topics you need support with. It also guides us in terms of how to service and support you to achieve academic success. So with that, I'd like to welcome all of our students who took time to be present here today, and then also welcome to our presenter. It is a first time engaging with our students and doing online mentoring. So we'd like to welcome our presenter, Sizinikiwe. I am Chantal Adams, the student counselor. So you've got my contact details in the chat function. If there's any topics for today that causes concern or makes you or wonder about whether you need to speak to someone, you can use my contact email and you can tell me either here's my contact number, I can phone you, or we can set up an individual session using the Teams app, and then we get you the support that you need. So if you're struggling with any modules or feeling overwhelmed or find yourself feeling stuck, you're welcome to use my email address and make contact with me personally. Okay, but for today, we've got someone here from Unisa, so I'll be monitoring the chat function. You're welcome to use the chat function throughout the presentation. You can just type in your questions and concerns, and I'll be responding to those as we go along. Sizinikiwe will be presenting, and we'll take some questions and answers at the end of the session. So good morning. We have one of our students from Unisa. Welcome. So we are here to present to you. I see we've got students from far and wide today. Thank you for being with us. Welcome, and with that, I open today's session. Sizinikiwe, you're welcome to take over the floor.
Thank you very much, Chantal. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am audible. And also, thank you so much for attending the session today. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen, Chantal?
Yes, I can see and hear.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. So I am going to now begin the presentation. So our topic for today is exam preparation, as we are looking to commence with our exams. I think this week, because my first examination is in the week, in this current week that we're in. So we already are very close to exam commencement. So we are going to just touch on how to prepare for examination, in Unisa. So I'm going to just go over to our next slide, which has our content overview of the presentation. The first topic that we're going to touch on is the meaning of exam preparation and when do we start to prepare and things that we need to avoid when preparing, things that we need to do, and also what resources do we have available at Unisa to help us prepare for examination, and also what do we benefit from exam preparation. So moving on, our next slide has the meaning of what examination preparation is. So I took a definition of examination preparation from a Teachment blog. They say that the exam assessment of the knowledge and ability of a person on a particular subject is known as an exam. So the preparation that is done, right, for an exam is what we call examination preparation. It's where we test ourselves, our knowledge and abilities, revision work, and also it's designed to improve the performance of a student on a standardized test. So the preparation can also be explained as test preparation. You can have your tutoring services, educational courses, or educational material, which is your study guide. Educational courses, it's going to be your recorded lectures, or because some modules I know that they have lectures that take place, and also there are some tutoring services that are available that some students are making use of. Some are paid for, some are free. So this is also what we call examination preparation. It helps the process of preparing for your exams. And also preparation is done for tests like an entrance examination for higher education. And also the last point would be preparation is the first step in marching towards your goals. So when you prepare for your examination, you prevent poor performance. Moving on, this is when do we start to prepare? So when do we start the process? So this is when you have applied and successfully registered for a course. It could be any course that you're doing. From the very beginning, when you register, when you apply for a course at a higher institution, you are then you are in the process of preparing for an examination, because you will be tested with the modules that you're going to be taught. You're going to be tested on the course materials, also your knowledge. Have you read them? Do you understand your course? Do you understand what is required of you? So also, it's also accessing the study material of your modules. So after registering, of course, you will be able to receive study material, which is your study guides, which is your tutorial letters. So when you access these things, when you download these things, when you get these things, when you go through them, then you are also in the process of starting to prepare for your examination, of which I believe most of us have already done this part of preparing for examinations. And also we have already submitted all our due assignments by now. Maybe some people are still maybe they still have some assignments due, but most of the students, I believe, have submitted all their due assignments by now. And also attending your scheduled lectures, like I mentioned. Some modules have lectures, and if you maybe were not able to attend the lectures, you listen to the recordings, because they always have like saved recordings. You revise your coursework, and go through past examination papers and assignments, because we would advise or I would encourage this, because you'd find that most of the questions on the examination are questions that are carried over from past exam papers. They're carried over from past assignments. So it's very important that we familiarize ourselves with past question papers, as they might come in the exam, or might come but be asked in a very different way. So it's very important that we familiarize ourselves with past examination papers and assignments from previous years. And then we're going to move on to our next slide, which has things to do. What are the things that we can do when we are preparing for exams? First thing, things to avoid, So first thing that you need to avoid is not having a study plan, right? Where you just know that you're going to write an exam, and then you decide, okay, maybe you're on study leave, and then you just don't have a plan where at this time I'm going to start studying. You start studying any time of the day. And this is this is not good, because anything might happen. You might forget, you might maybe overstudy, and then you might end up exhausting yourself, or you might do little work where you could have covered much if you had a plan, but because you do not have a plan, you covered less of the things that you could have covered. And then also not knowing the time of the exam is something that we need to avoid, because we do not want to have studied all of we do not want to have prepared ourselves very well for the exam, and actually having to write our exam late because we did not know the time, and then we end up rushing ourselves through the exam. And also not knowing how to access the examination or submission time is also something that we need to avoid, because we do not want to spend our time writing and find out that we're not able to submit, or we do not even know how to access the examination itself. And also, you also need to avoid not using resources to support successful completion of online examination. We do have resources that are available to us on my Unisa. So also we just need to ensure that we go, even on the DCCD website, there are some very useful resources. I will also be sharing links on some of the resources that I found there so that you can just go and access them there. And then we're going to move on to the next slide on things to do. So these are some of the links that I have available for you of the resources or things to do. So the resources that we have also, they have things that we can do for us to prepare for a successful online examination. So the first thing is a guide on how we can prepare for an online examination. It has 10 steps where it just, the first one would be, we need to check our timetable. We need to know when we write exams. We need to know how to access our examination question paper, as mentioned before. You need to be able to know which examination has an invigilator app or the proctoring tool. We need to ask assistance for students. If you're a student with special needs, so you need to know, you need to ask for help, because there is also accommodation for students with special needs. So you need to know how to go about that. And then there are also training webinars and resources to help you prepare for the exams. You need to familiarize yourself with these, and also familiarize yourself with the do's and don'ts of the online examination rules. You need to test your device by participating in mock exams. And also, it's very important that you test the device that you are going to be using for the proctoring tool to ensure that it works very well. Just to avoid for yourself to be penalized. Maybe it's going to get stuck and it's not going to work well, and then you'll find that you're 10 minutes outside of the invigilation app, of which that could mean that you have not complied with the proctoring examination requirements. And also, we step 8 is don't cheat, which is plagiarism. And also step 9 is troubleshooting technical issues before you start the exam. So by now you already know, maybe if you have a problematic laptop, ensure that you troubleshoot it before you write the exam. If a problematic phone, maybe it has a very low life battery, so you need to ensure that it's fully charged. For maybe using it for the invigilation app, you need to ensure that it's fully charged so that it can last you throughout the examination session. And also, you need to have your lecturers' contacts. Should anything come up, be able to contact them. Also, there's also contacts for the proctoring tool, where if you're having any problems with the proctoring app, or so with the proctoring app, you can just reach out to them. There's also the My Exam email. Should you have problems with the My Exam website in order for you to access your examination, the contacts available for them, which you can use and contact them and let them know for communication. And also, I have also included a link that will provide you with support on how to get examination admissions, and how to approach them through planning and preparation. So we know that we do get examination admissions through submitting all of our coursework, which is assignments. So also this link will then help you also on how to approach them through planning and preparation. Next slide that we're going to go to is slide number 7, which has the resources. So resources are basically, I've added links that could be helpful, and you will then be able to find them on my Unisa. They help you better understand examination preparation, and also they develop or hone your examination preparation skills. So I've added 2 links that are helpful for examination preparation. Like I said, you can find them on my Unisa. And also I've added a link that speaks about aggregate examination or special examinations, because we do know that at this time, most of us have covered a lot of preparation, and by now we already know where we stand in the in the process of the examination. So should you feel that maybe you're doing 5 modules and you only prepared for maybe 2 of them, then you are more than welcome to make use of the link and see how you can arrange a special examination for the other modules that you feel that you don't, you're not prepared well enough for. Maybe you can choose to write them on the following semester and not now, or see if maybe there is a way that you can just get time for yourself to prepare well for them. So yeah, so there's moving on to the second last slide, which is the benefits of the process of examination preparation. So you will have to get an understanding of an ability to solve problems in your field of study, which is real life problems, through the things that you've learned from the course that you studied at school. And also it will help you reduce exam-related stress such as anxiety, and it makes the process manageable. And also it helps you identify your strengths and weakness. Like I mentioned on the previous slide, by now we have already started with examination preparation. I'm also starting with one of my exams in this week that we are in. By now, I already know if I'm ready for that exam. I already know the things that I know very well in that topic or in that module. So should you feel that you're not so strong in something, you can make use of the aggregate announcement link and see what it is that can work best for you. Or also you can just make use of your time and see that you touch on your weaknesses, and also you make sure that you stick with your strengths. So basically, examination preparation will help you identify your strengths and weaknesses. You will be able to know what things you're good at and what things that you still need improvement on. And that is the end of my presentation. The last slide then would have contacts where you can book an online session with a student counselor, or you can email them, or you can visit the DCCD website to see what other things that are going to be helpful for you during your examination period. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan Kiwi. I think what's most important for students to pay attention to is, and there's some resources I put in the chat function, but what's most important is that aggregate announcement. I've dealt with quite a number of students who said that, I'm either registered for 4 or 5 modules, I'm not coping, I'm not ready to write 5 exams. And so that aggregate announcement basically says that every undergraduate students for a written exam only, written exams, you get 2 opportunities to write. So if you miss the exam or fail the exam, you will get a second exam opportunity, but that's only for written exams. Continuous assessments and portfolios don't get second opportunities. You only get 1 opportunity to write the exam. Then what I've also included, and what was in the presentation, what's very important, is the guide on how to prepare, a guide for successful online exams, in terms of understanding how to access your exam paper, the proctoring tool. There's training videos on how to use the various digital resources that you'll need to have a successful online exam. And then if you get stuck while you're writing your exam, I've put the contact details in the chat function for when you need support while writing the exam. Every college has a different exam contact detail. So College of Law, your law students will have a different contact detail to those studying psychology. So you just need to check that you're contacting the right center if you get stuck while you're writing. One of the students is asking, hi, what does module arrangements mean? Does this mean I still write an exam? Can you give me the module code? by now, all students should have the exam dates. What is the date today? The 8th of May, because exams commence in a week's time. So if it's a written exam, you should have an exam date. Can you just give me, Eben, the module code, and we'll have to check up with the student advisors to check on the system what is going on with that module. ARH, that's art history. Okay. If you have a provisional exam timetable, just check your My Life email account, because the official final exam timetable was emailed to all students' My Life email account. So just double check that you're using your final exam timetable and not the provisional, because provisional means that it's still subject to change. So your final exam timetable is what you need. That is your final dates and time for exams. So you must always sure you have your final exam timetable, check that you have the right dates, check that you have the right times, check that you have the right proctoring tools or iris, all the technologies in place. As Sizaniki said, make sure, test your laptop. Make sure that your laptop is working, your devices is working, your cameras are working, and check that you have, ensure that you have a study an exam space where you're able to focus and write your exams. A mock exam, one of the students is asking, they want to know what is a mock exam. So your mock exam is basically a test exam. So it's there to test your ability to successfully write an exam. So mock means like a sample, right? So I'm seeing a number of course codes, BBT 1501, XOH 1501. These module codes, are they codes for that also module arrangements? Oh, there's quite a few that have module arrangements. Okay. So what I'm
Just to, sorry, Chantal. So I know that with the College of Law, when it says a module arrangement, and also with other modules, because we do have modules from other colleges, it would mean that it's not a sitting exam, something like a portfolio exam where you're going to be given 24 hours to complete the exam, or maybe a week, or more than like you won't need the proctoring, which is the invigilating app. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so there you have it. It means basically it's not really exam that you have time to prepare for. You need to be ready at any point to write the exam. You either get a day or a week to submit the exam. So it's not a written exam. It's not an exam when you need to have the proctoring or iris tools ready. AFL 1501 doesn't have an exam. Does EUP have an exam? Because I don't see any dates. So EUP is an online module. EUP 1501, that's a signature module. There's no exam. It's continuous assessment. So you need to make sure that you're online, completing all the study units, and you should be grouped. And so there's no written exam. It's an online module, and it's continuous assessment. So you will be submitting things online throughout the year. Just also let me go online and double check. So EUP is a semester module. So if you registered for first semester, you should be completing now in May, June, but there's no exams for that. Okay. So for now, there's no proper times available. It just is maybe from 8 the morning till 8 the night. English 103, I have ENG 1503, but that says it's a home exam. How do you access it? A take-home exam. So take-home exams usually would mean you access an exam paper, you download it, and then they give you time to complete it, and then you upload. Am I right, Sizanikiwe?
Yes, so take-home exam is examination that you get, sort of like the module arrangements exam, where you get like a set of time, maybe more than 4 hours, 24 hours or a week, where you get to go do research, and then you then upload or submit the exam at the due time.
There was another question about BBT 1501. This is also an online module.
Sorry. Sorry, and also for the take-home exam, you're allowed to consult your textbooks, prescribe textbooks, study guides, and all of that.
So PPT is the same like EUP 1501. It's an online module. There's no written exam. It's continuous assessment. It is a semester module. So you should be completing the module now in May, June. There was another question about, I'm confused where to access the exams. So the resource that I included in the chat function, I'm going to post it again. Your guide to successful online exams explains to you, let me just copy, explains to you how to access the online exam. So make use of this guide in the chat function. I've just reposted your guide to a successful online exams. Let me show you what it looks and let me show you the topics that it covers. I'm just going to share my screen with you. Okay. So this is the link that I've included, your step-by-step guide for a successful online exam. Step 1, check your exam timetable. So when you click on the topic, it's going to tell you, insert your module codes, and it will give you your exam dates, right? Then access your exam paper. Here we go. Log into My Exams, and there's the student exam guide. Okay, so there's how to navigate your exams portal and access your module exams. So everything is neatly explained as per topics. Preparing for your online invigilation or proctoring, click on the link and you'll find step-by-step assistance for the students with special needs. Click on the link, training webinars on how to prepare for your exams. So there's videos that you can watch that shows basic skills for online exams, how to navigate the online space, academic dishonesty, completing multiple choice, how to complete a take-home, exam do's and don'ts, types of cheating, essay questions, multiple choice questions. Familiarize yourself with the do's and don'ts, know when your mark will be withheld, participating in mock exams. So this is completing a mock exam prior to your final exam. That was one of the questions as well. You need to log in to access that. Cheating, troubleshooting, technical issues, resolving login challenges. Here's the contact details on who you need to contact. So you'll see College of Accounting Sciences, there's a number and email. So if you get stuck while you're writing the exam, every college has a different email and contact center supervisor. Okay. And I think that resource is going to answer all of the questions that most of you have regarding how to prepare, how to access your mock exams. IOP 1, so where there are module arrangements, as Izinikiwe explained, you will be given either a day or a week in order to complete. You will be given instructions. So, so CPD, that is also an online module, semester module, so you should be completing now May, June as well. IOP 151 says module arrangements. So you're saying, I cannot confirm that all of the 151 modules are not written exams. I cannot, in all honesty, confirm that. Semester 2, so semester 1, if it's an online exam, if it's continuous assessment, semester 1 ends May, June. Everyone should be completing modules and writing exams May, June. Your second semester registration dates is the 8th to the 19th of July. That's second semester registration. Okay, you can only register for semester modules in the second semester. Year modules, you can only register for beginning of the year from January to March, usually each year. Okay. The Invigilator app is a challenge. The WhatsApp number that they give when you experience trouble is not helpful. This is new to me and the steps are just terrible. I wish there was another option. So unfortunately, there is no option to write on campus. So if you have problems with the Invigilator app, the resources on how to use the Invigilator app is provided. And then if you have problems while you're writing the exam, there is a contact number for each college. So just make sure that you've got the contact details easier. Let me just copy and paste it again. And make sure that you're contacting the right college supervisor for your modules. So if you get stuck in the exam, there is a contact number that you can call and the college that you can contact directly. I've never made use of the WhatsApp number. I've never heard of students make use of a WhatsApp number. The contact center is very effective. I've had students phone them while they're standing in front of me, and people do answer the phone and resolve the issues. So that I have experience in. So the questions around where to access the exams and what is the mock and how to prepare for the mock, you will use the resources on your guide for successful online exams, because your step-by-step guide you'll find there for those questions. The Moodle app, how do I access it when access my exam? Maybe I am a bit confused by this question. So you'll first need to know what type of exam is this. If it's a written exam, then if you go to the, let's just go back to your step-by-step guide. If you go to the step-by-step guide, you log into My Exams to access your exam question paper and access the student exam guide, which will tell you exactly. Let me just share my screen again. So it explains how to access the module exam. It explains to you what to click on step by step. Okay. So depending on if it's a multiple choice or take home. Okay. Now you can review the assessment and start. So I'm not sure, where does the Moodle come in? Sismiki, can you help me with this one?
Okay, so the Moodle app is the way we get our assignments. It's the app that we have. We submit our assignments. So when we're writing exam, we don't really make use of the Moodle app. We make use of the My Exams platform. And if you do have some take-home exams, so you'll have to log in on My Unisa and submit it under that exam itself. That's how we do it in the College of Law. Or some people use the Moodle app to submit take-home exams, but you just need to ensure that it reflects on both My Unisa and also on the Moodle app.
So for the student, I would then recommend that they work through step 2 of the successful exam guide, that they focus on step 2, right? And then there's also, remember, there's also training webinars for finding your exams, how to find your exams on My Exams, how to answer the assessment, the essay, and the multiple choice questions, and then the Invigilator app. This may not be about exam, but I'd like to ask, would it be possible to register 7 modules with the final semester during second semester, July, next semester is supposed to be my final year. So if the second semester is your final semester, of course, the 7 modules all need to be semester modules. You will register for the 5 and you will apply to exceed the maximum. So there is a, let's just get to the Unisa site. I'll give you the link now. You will do it on the My Unisa site. Biographical admin, error, apply extensions, exceed the maximum. Here is. So you can only exceed by 2. So you, there's the details on how to exceed the maximum. So yes, as long as your 7 modules are all semester modules, you will register for the 5 and request to exceed the maximum by 2. Okay. Thank you for the explanation. It sounds easy when you explain the steps, but one must follow the steps. So it's challenging. You already stress about exams, then you must stress about submitting on time. You must really look into this. I really experienced problems with the app. Okay. So you're also welcome to give Unisa feedback regarding the apps that must be used. So all of the apps, I think it is the ADOVH. They also assisting students with the online exams and first year experience. So we can give the ADOVH team feedback on the usability, friendly usability of the apps as well. Okay, so they also semester modules you can apply to exceed Then another student says, on my final exam timetable date for PLC says 1st July. So does it mean I don't write this module for May, June? Yeah, then you write your final exam timetable you need to follow. Then you write your final exam on the 1st July. Yeah. I think because of the large number of students, the exam period keeps shifting every year. So do the registration dates. So if you're only writing the 1st of July, what it ultimately means for you is that when registration opens on the 8th, you might have issues with registering on the 8th. Because if you're only writing the 1st July, your exam results will not be available by the 8th of July. So the later your exam, it means that it might have implications for your second semester registration. That's the biggest issue, challenge that you can prepare yourself for. So for invigilator use, if my phone is on silent, will it still ping for the notifications for instructions to take selfies or photos? Susan Ikiwe, can you answer that one?
Can you please repeat the question, Chantal?
It says, for the Invigilator app, if my phone is on silent, will it still ping? So will it make a sound for notifications for instructions to take selfies or photos of my paper?
It will vibrate, I know, but it's best that you not use it on silent because you will then need to hear the sounds when it notifies you or when the app requires you to do something on it. So yeah, maybe you're afraid that it might ring or someone might call you. That's why you put it on silent. But I think it's best you take it out of silent mode so that you can hear the app when something is required of you on the app.
So preferably ensure that your volume is on your phone and don't put it on silent. That would be the preferred option. Another student is asking, I am currently doing 3 modules this semester and planning on registering for next semester for 3 modules for higher certificate in law. So my question is, can I then do the remaining 4 modules next year first semester? Yes, you're welcome to do so. So your registration will be July for your second semester, then January for the outstanding modules. You'll then have to check in April next year whether your follow-on qualification, your degree or diploma of choice will be on offer to apply for. If the degree or diploma of choice is not on offer to apply for in April, it means you'll need to wait until August, September next year to apply for the follow-on qualification. So you might have a 6-month gap, the second semester gap, because if you only apply in August, September, if successful, you will only register in the January the following year. Kathleen is asking, is flight mode rather a better option? So instead of silent, flight mode for your phone. Susan Ikiwe, thoughts?
I don't know if flight mode is a better option because I know if maybe you're using your mobile data or your Wi-Fi connection, some phones do not connect to Wi-Fi or mobile data on flight mode, but I know some phones do. So it will only depend on your phone because you do need internet connection for the app at the end of the day. So I don't think for some phones flight mode is an option. But if maybe you would like to put it on silent, you can, but then it will only vibrate. And so it will depend on the type of environment that you're using to write, if you're going to be able to feel your phone vibrate when you are required to do something. But yeah.
So another student's asking, so if my phone is on flight mode, to avoid unexpected calls, is that permitted? So let's say your volume is on, you're not in flight mode, your phone rings. Should you just then reject the call? What is the easiest way to manage that?
Yes, I would reject the call.
Okay. So another student is asking, I've just scanned the how-to on the Invigilator app. And so just to confirm, it's okay to have the app on my phone while I write my exam on my laptop on my Unisa. Tizinikiwe, do you know the answer to this one?
So is it okay for them to have the app on the phone while they write the exam on the laptop?
Laptop, yeah.
Yeah, that's how most students do it. So that's more than okay.
So remember, I see someone again asked about module, where you have a module that says module arrangements. So if you have your final exam timetable should either indicate dates for your written exams. If it says module arrangement, it was explained that you will be notified, you'll be given a task to do or questions, and then you'll be either given a day or a week to formulate responses and then submit online. So that is module arrangement. It means there's no written exam. You'll be doing an alternative form of exams. Okay. Those with continuous assessments, you don't have any written exams as well. Sizanikiwe?
Yeah, just to add on that, Chantal. So if you have a module that has module arrangement on the timetable, you can also just now check on the Moodle app. If maybe that module has only 2 assignments, there also should be an assignment 3 that's going to state when it opens and when it closes. So you should be able to then, if you have that module, if it has assignment 3 and it hasn't opened, you just need to check when it closes, then that would be that examination for that module.
Let's see, is there a link to access the various modules, past papers, and their memos? I don't think we get that anymore, isn't it, Kiwi? I think that's like an old way of studying where they used to have past papers. And I also know for the continuous assessments, the assessments change, the questions change every semester. It's not the same, and so there isn't past papers. For the written exams, isn't Kiwi, do you still get past exam papers that students can work through?
Yes, I would advise students to go on the Telegram groups because that's where most students post examination papers. So you'd get maybe, because the files get saved there, so that's where you can get them. And also, I know there are some lectures for some modules. When you go to my modules on my exams, they do actually have past exam papers posted there, and also they have tutorial letter 201, which has feedback on some assignments that were done, and yeah, so that is really sometimes helpful.
So a student had a question about a Moodle, and here's a resource on Moodle proctoring. The Moodle proctoring tool is for multiple choice questions. I'm just going to put that in the chat function quickly. I was actually looking for a response to the student who was asking about, student saying that she tried to set up the Invigilator app, but it states the university hasn't confirmed the email, even though they've entered my live email. Am I doing something wrong? So I was also trying to see if the university hasn't confirmed your email. How does the university confirm your email, Sizanikiwe?
I really wouldn't know, Chantal, when it comes to that. But I would advise the student to then reach out to the relevant department that helps with logins and passwords and see if they can have that resolved before they commence with the exams.
Okay, so I'm providing the student with because your email address is your My Life, and so if you haven't verified your email, it's your My Life. So I've given the email address for the My Life help at Unisa that you can send the email to in terms of verifying the email. Another student's asked, by when will we be put into groups as the time allocation shows 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.? So groups is for your signature modules, am I correct? Usually the signature module students are put into groups, the EUPs, CPDs, those modules are put into groups. It just shows 8 to 8. You should have then already been, let me give you the contact details for the tutorial support, CTN@Unisa. You're going to send them an email from your My Life account to inquire about the grouping, okay? Way to access exam timetable. So accessing your exam timetable, I'm going to copy and paste this again. So your guide to a successful online exams, I'm going to paste it again in the chat function. You're going to work through this. One of the first 2 steps in the online exams is how to access your exam timetable. I think any other questions that any of the students have first go to your step-by-step guide for successful online exams. Okay, first go there. If you then can't find the answer, you then send me an email. But all of your exam questions should be responded to there. I'm again putting my email address in the chat function. The recording of today's session will be emailed to everyone who signed the attendance register. So just make sure that you sign the register. I'll put the register in the chat function again. And then also an evaluation form, so you can give us feedback on your experience of today's session and what are the topics you need support with. So I've again put the attendance register, and I will just put the evaluation form again as well. So if you don't sign the attendance register, you won't get a copy of today's session. So just make sure you sign that attendance register. It's most important. Evaluation form, you're going to give us feedback on what are the topics and how else we can support you. Also think of next semester. When you start your next semester, your first week, your first 2 weeks of the semester, what types of support do you need? You need help with time management, note making. Think about at the end of the semester, for your next semester, reflect on what went wrong this semester and how you feel we can better support you so that you can have a more successful second semester. Okay, so the registers and the evaluation form is just a quick Google form. You're going to click on the link. It will just ask for your name, surname, and My Life email. And I then use that details to email you the recording. The evaluation form as well, you're just going to click on the link. You're going to give us feedback. It's an office form, so everything is online and I then extract the information. Okay. I'd like to thank our presenter, Sizinikiwe, for a successful first mentoring session today. You've had quite a big turnout. So well done. Congratulations, Sizinikiwe. I think it was good preparation for further mentoring sessions with our students. So I'd also like to thank our students for the active and lively engagement today and for participating with us. We hope that we have supported you so that you have a successful online exam experience. Remember that if you get stuck while you're writing, if you have problems with the apps, if your laptop crashes, if there's load shedding, if the sky falls, there's a contact number. Every college has a different contact number. You're going to contact the contact center, explain your problems to them, and they will give you the support that you need while you're writing the exam. Okay. And that is it from me. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participation. Thank you to Sizinikiwe. The students are saying, congrats, Sizinikiwe, you did well today. I think you were a very good presenter, a very calming presence online. So thank you to everyone who joined us today. I think this is our final session for this semester, actually. And I will email you all the recordings, which means that you all have my contact email and you can respond to the email. So when you get stuck in your study journey at Unisa, you're welcome to then speak to me. All right. And then we will probably all, good luck for exams. I forgot to say that, good luck for your exams. And then we will probably all hear from each other again in the new semester. Your second semester is the 8th to the 19th of July, so don't miss the registration period. And then we will speak again in the new semester and we will again plan for a successful second semester. All right, so thank you everyone for today. And with that, I close the program. Good luck and goodbye.